All right, welcome back to the Road to Rip series. So today's episode is going to be straightforward. It's just going to be a simple Q&A. So I asked you guys a couple of days ago to send in some questions. You guys sent some, and I'll answer to the best of my abilities, all right? So stick around to the end of the video because I have a little announcement. Just going to change some things around the channel a little bit, all right? So make sure you stay tuned for that. So without further ado, let's just hop straight into the questions. First question, really good friend of mine, Danny, he asked this: how important do you think creative expression is to mental health? And first of all, great question. This question can be a video in and of itself, and it very well might be. But I'm gonna give you the short answer for right now. So I think everyone should create something. Art doesn't have to be just painting or music, it can be anything. So my art is Road to Ripped, right? So putting out that raw truth, it's what gives me purpose, right? So I work a job as well that I'm not too passionate about, but what gets me through that is knowing my identity, all right? I think if you feel stuck, it's because you make your job your whole life and you leave your passions behind you. If you're struggling mentally, create something. Create something that's yours, and I bet you'll feel a lot more alive. So thank you, Danny, for the question. Amazing. Let's get on to the next one. All right, my cousin Isaiah, he asks, do you do stretches before every workout or do you just warm up? So I usually just warm up. I really don't do stretches at all. Not saying that that can't benefit you. It just really depends on, what you want to do, what your goals are. But yeah, I usually just hit the warm up, and after the workout, or maybe even the next day that I'm sore, yeah, I'll hit a few stretches just for that particular muscle group. So thanks for the question, Zay. Love you, bro. Next question. Really good friend of mine, Aaron, he asks, how many pounds you down? So Aaron, unfortunately, I'm not too worried about the pounds, not too worried about the number on the scale. I'm mostly worried about the man that is looking at me in the mirror, how that guy looks, right? But I'll give you my BMI and then my BMI goal. So my current BMI is around 35.4, all right? And then my goal BMI is going to be 15%, but that's my goal, 15%. I'll let you guys know what my BMI is as I'm, losing the fat, shaving it off. But thank you for the question, Aaron. Hit me up, let's hang out soon. Next question. So another one of my family members, Jeremiah, he asks, since starting this channel and lifestyle, has your son picked up on any habits like workouts? So not directly. I think right now it's more about planting that seed. So as he gets older and he starts understanding more, he'll look back and realize his dad was always working out, eating right, and just chasing something bigger. So to him, that'll just be normal. That's the example I want to set. I believe taking care of yourself should be the default and not the exception. All right, so good question. Hope that helped. On to the next one. So Wifey, she asks, what do you feel like you are consistently working on? My mindset. Every single day, no days off. I truly believe your mindset controls everything. And if you can master your mind, everything else starts falling into place. All right, so thanks question. She's got I think 8 more, so we'll get on to the next one. Wifey asks, do you ever struggle with the energy to stay consistent? If so, how do you overcome that? Well, yes, absolutely. I still struggle every single day. I mean, I spent 23 years building up those bad habits and living in chaos. So it won't undo overnight, right? Discipline is still something that I'm earning every single day. And when I feel like giving in, I just remind myself of what my old life was. And honestly, that is just more than enough to keep me going, to be honest, And listen, if I do slip up, I don't let it become a pattern, right? 1 setback is a mistake. 2 is a choice, all right? I can live with 1 setback, but 2, it's just unacceptable. But thanks for the question. On to your next one. What do you believe you can focus better on? And honestly, my diet. I'm pretty locked in on the meal preps, but I'm not gonna lie. I love going out to eat, all right? I like good food, as you could probably tell, right? That's why we're in this mess to begin with. But listen, that's the point of this series as well, right? I'm not pretending to be perfect, you know? I'm working on it every day and getting 1% better. So thanks for the question. On to your next question again. So our next question asks, what or who motivates you to be better? How do you believe you changed for the better? My family motivates me every day. You guys. So everything I'm doing is to build a better future for y'all, right? As far as how I've changed, I went from having a scarcity mindset to having a growth mindset. So I used to focus on what I didn't have. Now I'm focusing on what I can build, right? And I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I believe that my mentality will take me there. All right? So thanks for the question. On to your next one. Next question asks, how do you deal with self-doubt? How do you manage power of will over power of mind? I still deal with self-doubt. I don't think it'll ever completely disappear. The main difference is that I don't let the self-doubt make decisions for me anymore, right? So every promise that I keep to myself, it will only strengthen my will. Every goal that I complete will only strengthen my will. And it'll just silence that self-doubt even more, right? So fear and doubt are only as real as the power that you give them, all right? Thanks for the question. On to the next. One asks, if you could talk to one motivational speaker in the world, who would it be and why? Honestly, Shia LaBeouf. I know he's not a motivational speaker per se, but that's why I choose him. And he speaks from experience and not perfection, right? I connect with that more, that raw honesty. And honestly, I just respect that from him. So yeah, if I would talk to anybody, it'd be Shia LaBeouf. Next question. How do you and your wife balance life, kids, responsibilities, and rest? Well, good question. It gets hard. It gets really hard, but I don't wait for the perfect schedule, right? I'm just working with the schedule that I have. Sometimes that means working on vids at night when I'm off at work, right? When wifey's going to work, when I'm tired. It's just all a part of the journey, you know? But we make it work together, you know? And together, we just got to keep moving forward. That's all it is. Thanks for the question. On to the next. She asks, what's the difference between self-improvement and self-image? And I think the two go hand in hand, right? Self-improvement is the work. Self-image is the result, right? So every promise that you keep to yourself, it changes the way you see yourself. That's why I focus on the work and let my self-image follow. Thanks for the question. On to the next. How do you make sure the people closest to you benefit from your growth? I just try to lead by example, right? I'm just trying to build that foundation that my family can stand on. I want success, I want growth, I want motivation to become so normal in my life that the people around me will just naturally adopt to it, right? Thanks for the question. On to the next. So this is the last question from a good friend of mine, Damien. He asks, what made you want to start Road to Ripped? And honestly, brother, honestly, I just never, ever wanted to see rock bottom again, right? I got tired of living without discipline and without purpose. So I created my purpose, right? Road to Ripped is my purpose. Road to Ripped became my way of just drawing the line in the sand and saying, no more. This is it. I've had enough. It was the day I decided to become the man I always knew that I could be, right? And inspiring even just one person to start that journey as well, then this is all worth it, right? So that does conclude the Q&A. A lot of great questions that could be videos on themselves, and honestly a lot of ideas. This is really helpful to me even. I hope it was helpful to you. I hope you felt more involved. To everyone who asked questions, and if you guys all ever have questions, always hit me up. All right, we're gonna talk about a little update on the channel. All right, so I am thinking about switching some things up. So I'm thinking about posting 2 videos a week nowadays, right? So my plan is on Monday and Friday there'll be videos. So Monday will be like a start of the week. So essentially I'll go into the deep details of the meal prep, of the weight goals, right? The body fat, how I'm looking. I'll show you guys my workout split, all the nitty-gritty good stuff, right? So that'll be on Mondays. Think of it as like a check-in. How about that? Friday, we'll have more of the conversations between you and I, the viewer, right? Fridays will be the motivation videos. Make sure you are liking the video. Make sure you are commenting. Make sure you are subscribed and sharing the video. All right. So I'll see you guys on Monday. Thank you very much. I love y'all. This has been me. This has been Zeke. Peace.